Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Why We Build. I'm your host, Ron Sheth. You can go follow us across all platforms. So we are on YouTube, we're on Instagram, Facebook. We're going to be on Spotify podcast and Apple podcast. So please go subscribe. Also, if you are a small business, a creator, an entrepreneur, if you would like to sponsor an episode, please reach out to me. It's going to be ron@humanize.com. Reach out when you're ready. We'd love to give you a shout out. A whole social media package will be put together for you and your business as well. Just thank you for tuning in. It means the world to me. Peace. Welcome to episode 2 of Why We Build. I am your host, Ron Sheth, and I have a Renaissance man with me here today, a builder from Central Ohio. He has worked in multiple different industries, but all within the same industry, essentially. So Doug Fosnaugh.
Fosnaugh. Yes,
Fosnaugh.
yeah.
Welcome to Why We Build, episode 2.
Appreciate it. Good to be here.
Yeah, man. Was I pronouncing that correctly?
Perfect.
Yeah. What is it? Was it like Are you Scandinavian? Are you are you German?
I'm told it's Swiss. Yeah.
All right.
At one point it was Fosnaugh.
Fosnaugh.
I think it was just too many syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, why don't you let the audience know kind of like your background, kind of where you started? I know we had a chance to grab a coffee together, in the last couple of weeks. And so you ran me through your, are you CPA or you did some like accounting?
I was on the CPA track.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
quickly realized that was not my game.
Yep.
So about a year out of college, or right out of college,
Yeah.
I'd gone to school to get my MBA in accounting.
Okay.
And went to work for one of the big four at the time, public accounting companies.
Okay.
And, do the thing and work all the hours, and quickly realized that I'm in the wrong office.
Yeah.
Somewhere I went wrong here.
Yeah. I think we vibed on that because it was like when your time is kind of up at in a certain industry, you're kind of like, okay, what's next? Yeah. Like, what can I get into next? Right. Same thing happened with me when, I was transitioning out of my corporate world. I was sitting in my cube one day and I was like, I don't think I can be here anymore.
Yeah.
And it kind of hits you, right?
Yeah.
So
you kind of look forward. You see the guys sitting in the offices, the big wigs, sitting down the road, and like, start looking. Do I want that lifestyle?
Yeah.
Do I want what they have? And if the answer is no, then it's probably best to be looking for the next thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely, man. So so you started off in kind of corporate, and then you got into. I felt like you've worked for almost every local builder here in town. I was kind of stalking your LinkedIn.
Yeah, not really, but it could feel that way.
Yeah.
No,
so run us through that phase.
So after accounting, I jumped into mortgages.
Okay.
So it was the tail end of the first refi boom in the early 2000s.
Yep.
I had some friends in the industry that were making pretty good money
Yep.
and better money than I was.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I don't like my job and I'm not making great money. I can at least go make some money.
Sure.
So I jumped into mortgages, did that for about a decade.
Yep.
And in between there, I tried to jump into home building. I had an itch for home building.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a family where my dad was always a handyman, always had a project going. I never lived in a house that didn't have some sort of construction going on at the time.
Yeah.
And helped my dad build a garage in the back of our house when I was probably 11 or 12.
Okay.
And that's probably looking back, where I got the bug,
Yeah.
So it kind of planted that seed that, hey, I can actually build something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so ever since then, once I was in the mortgage industry, and, you're watching a lot of the DIY shows were popular, and rehab flip this house came out.
Well, you've got the face for HGTV, so I don't know when your special's coming out.
So I was bummed when I learned this was going to be videoed. I thought
right. But no, that's cool, man. So I never got that bug, to be honest. I have a hard time just, it was funny. I had to fix my son's toilet the other day, right? It was like running water. Yeah. And so I'm trying to figure out how to put a new toilet valve in.
Sure.
And that shit took me like 4 hours when it's supposed to be like turnkey, universal. I had no idea what the hell I was doing, but I got through it, and I felt like, man, like afterwards, I was like,
exactly.
So,
but that's the little, that's the thing. You felt like I accomplished something.
Yeah. It was a great exercise for me because it's so foreign. Like my wife's like, hey, can you put this together? Can you build this? And I'm like, I got to block a whole Saturday to like do this, you know what I mean? And so it doesn't come naturally for me, but that's cool that it,
YouTube is your friend.
YouTube is my friend, man.
And so that's cool. So at a young age, you were like, this is something I'm passionate about. I love doing it.
Looking back, I don't think
Yeah.
that I realized it then.
Yeah.
But once you've had that realization that, hey, I did this thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to replace that with anything that doesn't produce tangible results.
Right.
Sitting in a cubicle doing accounting, like I never got excited about my debits and credits matching up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I figured as an auditor too, I was doing a lot of checking other people's work.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized I'd rather be the one doing the work that somebody else can check. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, okay, run me through kind of the different stints that you had with other building companies, right? Because obviously, you had to learn the trade before you got in and did your own thing, right?
Yeah.
Almost like apprenticeship, internships, but actual jobs too. So run me through that phase of,
Yeah, so my first venture out was with a local home builder here, New Albany, Ralph Fallon Builders. So they build high-end luxury, and so I got exposed to that market from the get-go. It was kind of humbling. So I'd gone from a corporate career, and I went to him to basically push a broom and run errands.
You get to see like the $50,000 like slab marble islands.
Oh yeah,
it's just craziness,
crazy. And then the customer walks in and said, "No, wrong."
Yeah,
and then you just tear it all out and do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's like no budget. It just has to be perfect.
That's kind of cool to walk into for your first foray, right? Because you're kind of on the, I wouldn't say the opposite side of stuff now, but you're kind of
fairly, yeah.
You right?
You could say opposite.
Yeah,
not in a derogatory way, but
yeah.
I mean, most people don't have $10 million budgets to build their house. And
I get it. Yeah.
So that was my first foray into it, and I tried to parlay that into a job as a superintendent or a construction manager with a home builder, residential, just production style. And that was all around 2007, 2008. So the market tanked.
That was a horrible 2008, 2009 recession, right?
So no one's looking to hire a green project manager when they got 30-year veterans sitting on the sidelines,
Yeah.
And so I went back to the bank for a few more years after that, doing refinances and so forth. And 2014 took a job with Ryan Homes.
Okay.
So
heard of them.
That's where I learned. So NVR, they do a lot of, they're a big builder, like 4 or 5 here in Columbus.
Okay.
4 or 5 biggest, I should say.
Yeah.
And they taught me how to really build a house from the ground up, and I was off to the races. I was kind of older than most guys starting in that career. So I was all about business.
The OG,
I didn't have time to mess around. So I'm like, I'm going to get here, figure it out, and get rolling. And so I was there almost 5 years.
Okay.
And from there, I went to work for Fisher Homes here locally, another regional builder.
Yep.
And I was a purchasing manager for Fisher. So I was in charge of, hiring contractors, negotiating pricing, that sort of thing. And then always in the back of my mind, I knew that I wanted to do my own thing.
Sure.
I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't really foresee it being a home builder.
Yeah.
I just knew that I'd like to do that type of work.
Yep.
I'd done several rehabs, remodels, some commercial jobs that I've done kind of on the side, as I'm working for the man, but I also got my own thing going.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of late nights and dark type days.
Yeah. How was that transition for you? Because I remember when I decided to jump in and do my whole thing, there was like probably 2 years of just sleepless nights. It was like, and then like the family having to adjust, just from a financial standpoint, right? I went from like a hefty salary, comfortable benefits, like the whole 9 to like the abyss. I'm like, I have to figure this out on my own, from the ground up.
Yeah.
So run me through like that, like, so how did that go?
The accountant in me is a little bit more risk averse or cautious. So I didn't really feel comfortable jumping out on my own entirely. So I kind of made a bed for myself outside of my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That gave me some, I guess, room to do that.
Okay.
And so looking back, really, it was just a matter of it kind of starts by necessity. You know what I mean? Like I've gone from a higher paying job and that I didn't like to a lower paying job that I loved.
Yeah.
And I had to fill the gap financially. Yeah. And my wife, we wanted her to stay home with the kids. So we did that. And that was another.
Yeah.
So you don't just, you still need the income gap to make it up. And so
absolutely.
I was finding, I would take on remodel jobs. I ended up finding an investor, friend of a friend, that I ended up doing probably 5 or 6 remodels for him on his investment properties in a row.
Okay.
Created a pretty good nest egg, and that ended up being the capital that I needed in order to really venture out
And do your own thing.
do my own thing full time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're president, CEO of Better Life Homes Columbus.
Yeah.
Run me through your guys' like products, because I know we talked about the
You say president, CEO, add janitor, sales manager,
all the hats, man.
All the hats.
You know,
it's like a unibill. Just turn the.
It really is, and I think that's what I had to adjust. Like, and you know this too. Like when I was in corporate, it was like, here's your role. You're clocking in, clocking out. This is what you're doing. I didn't even know like how to run payroll. Right. So I had to figure out like QuickBooks and P&Ls, and all that stuff was so foreign to me. Right.
Yeah.
I can make you a social media post all day. Right. Build you a website. But when it came down to that stuff, it was like a crazy adjustment. So your products right now are obviously not the high end. Run me through your ideal customer, I guess. Like when people come to you guys, who's that prototype customer?
So we build primarily spec homes, so inventory homes.
Yep.
And we try to hit really the first time new home buyer, or first time move up, or a move down buyer. So it's really an entry level product. We do have kind of a tier up from that we do sometimes. But really it's a price play. We're trying to create overwhelming value. We're trying to be not necessarily the lowest cost, but we try to compete directly with existing homes.
Sure.
I call them used homes. So we're building brand new homes, and we're trying to compete on price with an existing product.
Okay.
And our ideal buyers really, since they are inventory homes, generally it's somebody who's looking for a quick move in.
Sure.
So
like newer families, or like, is it?
Honestly, it's a lot. It's a mixed bag.
Okay.
A lot of times we get relocations. Yeah. Because a lot of times job transfers happen pretty quickly.
Yep.
And they don't have time. Maybe somebody wants a new home, but they don't have time to wait around to go through selection and contract. All the process. So instead of a 6 to 9 month process, they can find one of our homes maybe while it's in drywall. And say, hey, we can close in 30 or 60 days.
Okay, got it.
Or they find one of our homes that's already complete. It's on the MLS. It's fully finished. Yeah. So they can buy a new product, fully complete, and they get a builder warranty with it. They get all the good stuff without having to wait.
You guys are really filling that gap of like convenience and speed, right? Really, essentially. Yeah.
And price.
Yeah. So I guess run me through with, obviously costs are through the roof, no pun intended. Like with tariffs and all the jazz that's happening right now on the global landscape. How are you guys able to keep your material costs and everything like low?
It's a full-time job. Yeah.
Sourcing,
and low is relative. Low is relative to today. It's high compared to 5 years ago. Yeah. As most people know, everybody's feeling it at the store.
Oh yeah. You go at the gas pump too, man.
You can't go to Starbucks for less than $5 anymore. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Right.
And every time I do, I'm like, why am I here? I'm just throwing money away.
$7 cappuccino later. It's like crazy stuff, man.
But to your point, it's just it's a constant focus.
Yeah.
And so it's always be looking for a better way, not necessarily cheaper way, but just a more efficient way.
Yeah.
Reevaluating products, being open to making moves on product. And I really have a good subcontractor base, good relationships. And a lot of them, I've worked with them for multiple years, most of them, some of them a decade or more. And
you've built that rapport. It's back and forth. It's just kind of like good people that you want to work with.
Good people. Right? And we're all kind of in the same boat. They're trying to control their costs. They know that I'm trying to control my costs. Yeah. And having that goodwill, at the end of the day, we are a smaller builder, small operation. Sure. But we're competing in the same sandbox as the Ryan Homes, the Fisher Homes, the Pulte's, the MIs, the big guys. And so inherently, being the smaller guy, we have a more personal relationship, so I can kind of piggyback on some of the good pricing, if you will.
Absolutely.
And really just relay that to the end user.
Okay.
And because we are so small, we have lower overhead. We're able to offer that product usually at a very competitive price, and because we don't have to build in huge margins in order to compete.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Very neat, man. So you talked about efficiencies. I'm going to switch it up here real quick on more of the tech digital side, because we nerded out on this while we were together a couple
Okay.
weeks back. How have you guys, maybe not with your firm or maybe in the industry, have you guys kind of leveraged technology? I heard about these guys in Texas, I think, that were doing like 3D printed communities and shit. I was like,
Mhm.
what is going on here, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
So run me through that, and then we can dabble a little bit into AI, because I know you're starting to use a little bit of AI in your
Sure.
content. So,
Mhm.
what do you see in industry wise as far as like advancements?
I mean, there's all sorts of, I guess, cool advancements like that. They're out there. I think we're a little ways off before you start seeing that on a large scale.
Like robots welding.
Robots welding, I mean, it's happening. There
Yeah.
are robots laying brick in some
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah.
A lot of the setup and the overhead and or even just the fixed costs of those contraptions, if you will,
Yeah.
are cost preventative to somebody like myself as a small residential home builder,
Sure.
or even a large residential home builder. The build cycle is so fast and so scattered that you're probably going to see things like that first on commercial jobs,
Sure.
really at scale.
Yep.
Or the 3D printed tiny homes.
Yeah.
That's a good test case,
Yeah.
especially in a market where you don't have maybe weather extremes.
I saw those guys doing a raise, and I mean, that filled up really quickly. Like,
Yeah.
it was lights out. I forget the name of them, but really cool stuff, man.
I mean, somebody's got to start it, right?
Someone's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then whatever you're seeing today, they'll work out the kinks
Mhm.
and make sure that eventually something will pop there that makes sense to translate to the industry.
Yeah.
But historically, the home building industry it's a lagging industry.
Yeah.
For the large part, we're doing a lot of the things almost the same way that we were doing them 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, building codes change, requirements change. The houses we build today are much better
Yeah.
than even the houses 20 years ago. Honestly, in the last 20 years, there's been so many advancements in code changes and energy efficiency and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You're not, like, if you have a house that's over 20 years old, for instance, your energy bills are going to be at least double what they would if you were to buy a new home today.
Sure.
Apples to apples, same house, same square footage.
Yeah. I think I think you nailed something there where, like, those trade jobs are not going to go anywhere. I feel like, I feel like being a plumber right now
Mhm.
is like the best bet. Like, if coming out of high school
Yeah.
or getting a trade job, because the more digitized we get, we are going to have obviously humanoids that'll learn to do kind of like, like welding jobs and laying
Mhm.
brick and cutting lawn and stuff like that. Right. I think in time,
Sure. Yeah.
but I almost called a plumber for my son's toilet.
And
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
But to your point, you
Yeah.
didn't, right? You figured it out. Maybe you used YouTube. Maybe
Yeah.
you used AI. You got
I
on
did, I
Grok or
did.
Chat and said, hey, how do I do this?
well, it was amazing because I literally took pictures of what was going on in real time and I put it into
Sure.
ChatGPT, and they were like, these are the steps you need to look out for. And thank God I turned my water off before I got started. It's like shit like that. Like I didn't know what I was walking into, but it was cool because I had like almost like a specialized coach
Yeah.
through the whole thing. So that was kind of nice.
So it makes you wonder, that plumber who didn't get that service call.
Yeah.
Now multiply that by how many
That's true.
friends you have that had the same problem that
Yeah.
would have typically called a plumber, but now they can figure it out on their own.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
you're
the
right.
real risk in the shakeup to the industry that's coming.
Yeah.
Is it's going to be that maybe not all the calls, but the ones that are easy enough.
Yep.
The bread and butter calls for most
Absolutely.
mechanical
It's like the
contractors.
TaskRabbits, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I used to use them all the time of just like, hey, I need this fixed, et cetera, et cetera. But now, yeah, you're absolutely right, man. It's going to be interesting to see that kind of the numbers at the end of the day of
Mhm.
like who's doing DIY or what is it?
DIY.
DIY, DYI.
Do it your DIY.
Yeah. It's one of those
Yeah.
acronyms.
I'll stick to building houses.
But yeah, so then let's move over to like marketing, right? You guys are still a smaller firm. What have you done? And I guess let me start with the way we met was through a marketing networking mixer.
Mhm.
Shout out to Kyle Gleesh,
Yeah.
Western and Southern, my guy. Thanks for connecting us here. That happens to be your brother-in-law, which I didn't know.
Kyle's a great guy.
Yeah.
Need a financial advisor?
Yeah.
Kyle
Yeah.
Gleesh.
Call him right now. So we met at a networking event, and
Mhm.
and 9 times out of 10, you shake someone's hand and it doesn't pan into too much. But we grabbed a coffee afterwards. Now we're doing a podcast, so this has been
Yeah.
it's been awesome.
Great.
So through marketing, obviously website, you guys are doing your social media.
Mhm.
What else? What else are you doing to kind of get your name out there? You know, because you're competing with the
Anything and
budgets,
everything.
the big budgets
I
with these
am.
other builders, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just on a call yesterday, and we were, talking about the sheer amount of numbers that's required even to sell a house.
Mhm.
And I wrote it down. I can't remember all of it, but I just remember you're talking. You need thousands of hits to your website, for instance.
Sure.
So call it 1,000 hits to the website just to translate into one contract on a home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're competing with a very limited budget, being a small builder,
Sure.
I mean, these bigger builders, their marketing budgets are bigger than my payroll budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're
Well, yeah. I mean, even doing a quick Google search, right? You type in new homes in Columbus, you're going to see those big players,
Oh, yeah.
because they're paying a ton of money in Google AdWords,
Absolutely.
SEO, the whole nine. So,
AI
so you've got to get like
crawlers
super
or-
creative on how you're getting yourself out there, right?
Yeah, I've made it a focus on socials to be out there
Sure.
creating, videos. I've actually been using AI to
Yeah,
create-
I've seen them.
create
I
some
was like,
videos.
I scroll and I'm like, Doug's back at it. Let's
Yeah.
go. He's
Yeah,
back
so-
at it. So that's
so,
awesome, man.
I mean, just you got to, and as a small business owner,
Yeah.
like I would love to, like honestly, Ron, I would love to hire you to do, $10,000 a month in
Yeah.
paid ads and
Yeah.
marketing campaign, and
We'll just call it even. We'll just,
but
I need some help with my toilets at home.
there you go. There you go. Hey,
No,
I'm happy,
I'm kidding, man.
happy to be on the call. But
Yeah.
it's but it's just you have to do it. And so a lot of times it's just a matter of working that into the daily routine.
Yeah.
And AI has made it so much easier to
Absolutely.
do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Zeely is one I've been using recently. You can
Okay.
just go on there and say, hey, I want an ad that looks like this, and
Yeah.
it'll just you throw in a couple images, and it'll just create like a whole ad campaign for you.
Yeah.
Or a video. I've done a couple of short videos. Just
It's incredible, man. You
Completely
should-
AI generated.
Yeah, as an agency, we've been starting to play around with Free Pick. And
Okay.
so it is a image and video generation tool that's absolutely lights out. Like it basically compounds all of the different models that are out there,
Mhm.
and it's going to suit the best one for what you're trying to accomplish.
Interesting.
So it's cool. It's kind of like a centralized spot for content creation. So check that out.
Free pick.
Free Pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And ChatGPT just rolled out Images 2.0.
Okay.
So they've gotten. I don't know if you've tested it enough, but like if you had any sort of text on a graphic,
Mhm.
it would kind of come in like hieroglyphics. It looked
Yep.
all crazy.
Mhm.
So they fixed that. I was testing it out yesterday actually, and it's gotten really good. So there's all these tools at your fingertips where you can create a whole social campaign, all these social posts in 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and you've got a whole quarter laid out. So
The real wild one has been, I think I told you about this one, but it's on the architecture side.
yeah,
So as a builder, we're doing a lot of renderings,
Yep.
for homes that are under construction. This is what it's going to look like when it's complete.
yeah.
And up until like 6 months ago, I mean, I was paying $300 to $500 per rendering.
Yep.
And I pay $15 a month for an AI subscription now.
Yeah.
And I do all my own renderings.
See, that's lights out, man.
and I'm not waiting 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm doing it in 30 minutes and
Yeah.
I got it, and I can move on to the next thing.
Yep.
And so
It's beautiful. Like we've tested quite a few interior design ones where you can get so granular with like the palette that you're using, the the
Mhm.
different hues in the room, and like you can really specify it. And you're not getting an architect involved. Those CAD files and all that stuff. It's literally a good prompt.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like thinking, like I try to take a minute and think, take this out, extrapolate it 1 year, 5 year,
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Like what's the shakeup look like? And I met with a group this morning actually,
Yeah.
and he runs an accounting firm, and he was saying that what they're seeing in the industry is typically you have a pyramid shape in most firms,
Okay.
where you got the partners on top, and then you got all the minions doing the tax returns and everything else at the very bottom.
Yep.
Then you got a layer of managers.
Yep.
And he said the industry is basically converting to more of a diamond shape, where now you have like AI doing all the minion work.
Yeah.
And then you have a layer of managers still, but the managers are really out there being one-on-one with customers,
Yep.
getting that business,
Yep.
and then making sure and checking that the AI stuff is actually getting done right.
That's so spot on, man. And the more we dig into, as an agency, we dig into like building custom agents, right? So that's essentially what you're talking about. So they can get hyper specific on accounting, really any department, right? And then if you have somebody kind of overseeing, and because we're still early, right? We're still in like, in my opinion, we're in like Netscape era. We're in like AOL Instant Messenger days. Like, did you have AOL Instant Messenger?
Oh, yeah.
What was your username? I was RowDog15.
Dougish 13.
Dougish 13. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's good.
I was a Bone Thugs and Harmony fan.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember Bone Thugs. Like Bone Thugs is, that's in my catalog for sure.
I played soccer, and I remember, I should probably not even tell this.
Why not? You should. We're on a podcast. Come on.
It was the Thuggish Ruggish Bone. It was like Dougish was I was a defender, and I just go lights out and tackle people.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
All right, Dougish 13 still might be out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So try and instant message him. But no, what I was getting at was like, we're kind of in this like early internet era, like the net, I keep calling it the Netscape era. I feel like there's like 3 websites out right now, and it's going to start to get, and the speed is moving. Like, I mean, these models are changing every day, right? Yeah. So we're going to see that slower, or the faster growth, shorter amount of time. Yep. So yeah, I think I'm excited of where all these industries are going. I mean, yours included. I tell a lot of people this is like, your job won't be taken away by AI, but someone using AI will take away your job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I think that everyone's going to have this like super assistant on the side where they hyper specialize in a certain industry, and so you're already ahead of it, man. I'm proud of you. When I'm scrolling, I see the AI Better Life Homes ad pop up. I'm like, this is cool. It's very cool.
Like you said, the adoption is so much quicker.
Yeah.
It took a long time for people to get to where Google was a verb, but now it is. And now Google's almost antiquated.
Yeah.
Because most people don't Google anymore. No. They search it on Grok or Chat or wherever.
It's become the new search
Perplexity.
engine.
And
Exactly,
it's just so much better, so much faster, so much more tailored to exactly what you're looking for.
Yep. It knows your tone. It knows like,
what.
And
if you spell it wrong, it still knows what you're searching for.
Oh yeah. My spelling's gotten so bad because of it. I'm just like sitting there typing my thoughts out, and I'm like not even paying attention, and it fixes everything. And it's like, here's your recommendations, top 5 for, tavern style pizzas in Columbus. I don't know, maybe I'm a little hungry right now, but okay. So tell me, being a builder, you've got to have your own opinion. So do you judge people's houses when you walk in? Like, are you like, man, that crown molding looks like shit? Like
honestly, not really.
No?
I more admire things than I pick them apart.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's just, I notice things that probably most people don't notice.
Yeah.
Not that I'm picking it apart, but even pictures, if they're crooked on the wall, like I'll notice it.
Yeah.
And I might fix it,
Yeah.
But I more admire like good work. A lot of times I'm always looking for a way to improve my product.
Yeah.
For instance, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, their house, it's just a production style spec home. I think it was MI that built it.
Yeah.
Great house, but not anything special.
Yeah.
But I just remember I lived with them while we were building our house for a little while, and I just noticed that their trim work was really good. Yeah. And the paint was spot on, and it was like the best finish I've ever seen on a production style.
You're
paint.
Like, I got to get a hold of that contractor.
When I was at Fisher Homes, I tracked down that contractor.
Yeah.
And we hired them to do paint. Now, it's just one of those things. Like, you just got to be looking.
I gotcha. Yeah, I never know, because it's like, me being in the digital social world, like I pick apart people's, like, when I go to their IG feed and their grid, I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
This person needs
So you're being
more.
kind to me. I appreciate it. But you're like, Doug.
No, I mean, it's like, different industries, you just kind of point out and pick out certain things, because I want it to look good, right?
Yeah.
You want it to be top notch and high quality, for any client, friend, whoever it is. So,
but even you gave me some free advice, and I took it, and I appreciate it. But it was like just consistency and with your presentation, and just that little nugget helps a lot. So
absolutely. So what's next for better life, man? What's kind of the next 5, 10, 15-year mark look like for you? Where do you
That's a
want to
long way
take
to be looking. Yeah.
yeah, but it's going to be here before we know it. We'll be back on this podcast a little more gray.
Yeah.
My back's already hurting,
Sure.
Um,
I mean, honestly, it's probably more of the same, but I would like to get to a point to where I'm empowering other entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And so whether that means opening up another satellite division or two
Yeah.
and, having an equity stake in another company that's also Better Life Homes, maybe of a different Cincinnati or
yeah,
Cleveland, you know what I
different
mean?
market.
Different
Yeah.
market, or
Yeah.
maybe just a sub market around this area.
Sure.
I don't personally see myself wanting to get to a place where I'm in charge personally for more than 50 houses a year.
Yeah.
I think that's
still a lot.
That's kind of the
Yeah.
where I think I can handle it and not have to be overwhelmed.
Sure.
Still have a line of sight on the product and the quality and
Mhm.
keeping the culture.
Yeah.
But more of that, and honestly, just getting better at it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I really am motivated to see how can we make it, not just make life better, but make homes better and
Sure.
more attainable.
Yeah.
And so that's really a focus on, like you were talking about earlier, prices have gone so up so far, so fast.
Yeah, man.
And pricing has become out of reach for a lot of people.
Man. Those interest rates, like we were
Yeah.
talking about it before we started filming.
Yeah.
It was like, those kind of scare me right now.
And it's
man.
not just the
'cause,
interest rates.
maybe
it's the
because of
interest
where we
rates-
locked in, right?
Well, it's the interest rates combined with the price increase.
Yep.
It's a double whammy. I mean, the average first-time home buyer right now is almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
That's 20 years older than it was maybe 50 years ago.
Absolutely.
And so when you look at it from that perspective, like, what are the options for a younger person who really wants to get into a home?
Yep.
Somebody's got to be building that product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if not so much, a new home is already a little bit of a premium
Mhm.
over an existing home.
Yeah.
But in order for somebody to get into an existing home at an affordable price,
Yeah.
they've got to move. But there's got to be some place for them to move to.
Absolutely.
So there's got to be
Yeah.
a stepping stone for that person who's lived in the house for 30 years that wants a new home.
Yeah.
There's got to be a place for them to go where maybe they live in a $300,000 house.
Yeah.
And they can't quite jump to a $600,000, which is a pretty typical new build around this area.
Sure.
So they need something
At a minimum.
At
right?
a minimum.
Yeah.
So maybe they can jump into a new house.
Yeah.
And we try to hit that, right now we're between 300 to 450 is
Okay.
kind of where we're trying to just hammer that price
Sure.
zone, because that seems to be an area where most established homeowners can
Yeah.
jump to as a move up.
Yep.
And then a 40-year-old professional who's
Yeah.
ready to buy their first home, they can actually afford that level.
And it's such a smart move, right? Instead of renting, just getting your first piece of real estate,
yeah.
under your belt. And yeah, so if there's any buyers out there at the 350, 450
Better
mark,
Life Homes.
Better Life Homes, baby. Reach DM Doug at Dougish.
Yeah.
Dougish 13.
No, not Dougish.
or whatever that was.
Yeah, I still got a Hotmail address somewhere. So.
Hotmail. That's funny, dude. So, all right. So let's just say hypothetically, you're like, you're retired in like 7 years, 8 years.
Okay.
Where's the, if Doug was to pick a dream home in a dream market in Central Ohio
For myself?
for yourself,
Interesting.
or maybe like a relative, maybe if like, someone's just ready to hang it up and be like, I can build you this home. It's got to be in this market. Just what, maybe for yourself, maybe for a relative, what's your, what's your favorite place in Columbus? It might be Plain City. It might be,
That's a tough
Delaware.
one. There's so many different reasons for
Yeah.
different areas.
okay.
We recently moved out to Marengo, which is north of Columbus, up near just north of Sunbury a little bit.
Okay.
So it's about a 30-minute commute to most of Columbus,
Yeah.
at least on the north side.
Yeah.
And but we wanted land, and so we got some acreage. And
Yep.
but the interesting thing is, the plan is to build my own house on that land.
Okay. Got it.
But we're living in an existing home.
Sure.
And
So that's a future forward plan for you.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So
right
for
on.
me, it was just we wanted to be out away from it all.
Yeah.
Southern Morrow County. Morrow County is still a little bit more affordable than Delaware County. But it really depends on what you want. You
Yeah.
know, if you like going out to dinner all the time and you like
Yeah.
the nightlife and things like, you want to be close to downtown.
Oh, absolutely, man.
You
I was
know?
just about to say that. I was like, what forced me out into the burbs was obviously having kids, right?
Yeah.
And it was like we were in Hilliard,
Mhm.
and then everyone's like school district, school district, school district. So we came to Dublin.
Yeah.
But it's been great. Like it's been, very community forward, great place to raise a family. But, if it was up to me, I'd be, still down in Short North,
Yeah.
just kind of kicking it.
To each his own,
Yeah.
and we build in all those markets for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm pretty agnostic on the location as long as it makes sense that there's a buyer there.
Sure.
And if there's an opportunity for me to create an overwhelming value. So if I can buy the land at a great price and provide a house that somebody can afford, is attainable. Or for instance, we're building in Ashley, Ohio now, which is another rural market.
Yep.
But we're doing like 1 acre lots. And so no HOA, you got a 1 acre lot, you get city water and sewer.
Yeah.
But you're getting into a brand new house on some land for around $400K. And so
That's awesome, man.
And I'm competing with, or you can be on a postage stamp lot in Sunbury for $450.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's a value to somebody. And so it's really just, where can I make an impact? Maybe lift up a community too. We do a lot of infill stuff. So we're building some houses in Whitehall, and Whitehall hasn't had a whole lot of new build.
So do you guys do them like batches at a time, or is it?
We try to.
Yeah. Okay. Right on.
So I'll try to do 2 or 3 houses in an area.
Okay.
Just for efficiency's sake.
Sure.
Because
your contractors are already out there.
Windshield time doesn't pay anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so if we can be efficient for myself, efficient for my contractors, that helps pricing, helps all the things.
Yeah.
But also helps marketing.
Yep.
If people see lots of signage in one area, then
Absolutely.
all of a sudden you look like a bigger builder than you are.
Yeah.
And you get that recognition. And as you know, with marketing, it's like if somebody recognizes the name, then they associate that usually with an established builder. And we are an established builder, but we're small, so we're not.
Well, I tell every client that, like, especially with social, is like our job is to make you look bigger than you are.
Yeah.
Right. And I think if we can nail that, then we've done our job really well.
Absolutely.
And so that's cool, man. So if I call Better Life Homes, am I talking to Doug, or am I going to get your AI?
No AI yet. You're probably going to get Lauren. She runs our sales.
Lauren? Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out, Lauren. Awesome, man. Well, where can people find you? Where, give us your social, your website. You already gave us your AOL, Instagram, instant messenger name.
Yeah.
So
don't go searching too hard.
Yeah, don't go search on that one.
BetterLifeHomes.com is the easiest way.
Mm-hmm.
You find us at Better Life Homes on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
And small presence on YouTube, working on that. So
very nice. Well, you're going to be on YouTube through Why We Build. So I appreciate you, jumping on here. Shout out again, Kyle, for connecting us here. And yeah, man, really appreciate it. This was a really fun conversation for me. Hope to, obviously we're going to stay in touch through different networking events and anything I can do to help, help grow Better Life Homes. This was a ton of fun.